It has been tumultuous is like an understatement for how the Suns have been over the last, I don't know, decade maybe is the best way to say it. Where do you think about how stable the franchise is right now and kind of the fresh start you guys are getting?
Well, we're excited across the organization, especially in the city of Phoenix. When we talk about adding Monty Williams, who's a phenomenal human being, a tremendous coach, he gives us confidence. He gives the players confidence that it'll be different. And we've had our struggles in the past, but we've been focused forward. And since Robert has entrusted me with the responsibility of changing the culture, charting the course for the franchise, I think we've made some pretty good progress in a short amount of time.
Monty's so respected, right, around
absolutely.
the NBA and just comes from that great Spurs coaching tree. He is the class guy that you want in your organization. Why give him the 5-year deal? Why was that important?
I mean, he's a man of integrity. And when you talk about building a championship culture, you talk about developing championship habits, you have to have someone with integrity, with a wealth of knowledge and experience. You know, he's been a player, a coach, he's been in the front office, so his perspective resonates with players. And that's how you get the buy-in. And once the players are bought in, you can start telling them to do the tough things that result in winning.
I want this, we want to show you this Devin Booker quote, but Paul, I want you to read it because you can do the frustrated player voice better than I can. Go.
I'm done with not making the playoffs. I'm serious. This is probably my last year not making the playoffs.
So that was not his last year, not ever making the playoffs, it turns out. That was maybe this year. What can they do to change
well,
that, right?
You know, we share that collectively in the building. We share that sentiment. You know, losing is tough, but winning is even harder. And so we told Devin, he's determined to be the leader that we need him to be. Show up early, stay late, do the right things, make his teammates better, improve his game, but more importantly, back up his talk with production. I think you've seen that throughout his career, and we expect him to take another step this year.
What is it really like working for Robert Sarver?
It's been great for me. You know, Robert challenges us. He challenges me every day to come in there and be creative and find solutions. You know, for some, that's an uncomfortable space, but I think my experience as a player where you're constantly under scrutiny, you're constantly under pressure to perform, it's primed me and it's prepared me to be able to thrive in this environment.
So compare that to, like, other experiences you've had in the NBA, right? You were down in Miami, down in Cleveland, right? How does Sarver as an owner and the culture he's created around him compare?
It's different. Those organizations, I was blessed to walk into Miami with Pat Riley, but they had Dwayne Wade, a Hall of Famer. We added LeBron James, a Hall of Famer, Chris Bosh, a Hall of Famer. So that structure was in place. When I was in Indiana, I had Jermaine O'Neal, I had Reggie Miller, a Hall of Famer. When I went back to Cleveland, when I went to Cleveland with LeBron, he's a Hall of Famer. You have guys like Kevin Love, who potentially would be a Hall of Famer. So that stability from the player standpoint was there. This situation in Phoenix is different. We have to build it internally. And so we've decided to put that responsibility on Monty. And I think we'll have some good progress and success because of it.
The fact that when you were in the interview process with Monty, that you met with him so thoroughly, that Robert Sarver met with him so thoroughly, and the fact that this 5-year deal did come out of it, it seemed to us from the outside there was maybe a little bit more of, hey, I'm going to let you be the GM, James Jones. I'm going to let Monty, I'm going to let you be the coach. Maybe Robert would take a little bit of a step back because he's been known as one of the more active owners in the NBA. Is that true? Is that outside perception true?
I'd say Robert's passionate. You know, he's been extremely successful in every facet, every walk of life. But when it comes to basketball and the Phoenix Suns, he's extremely passionate. And he's been present. He's been supportive. But more importantly, he's grown and he understands that he needs a team of people, leaders around him that will allow him to have comfort knowing that the organization comes first. And that's what myself and Monty, you know, that's what our conversations have been about.
So, I mean, I don't think you would have taken the job if you felt like you weren't going to be able to do the job, right?
Of course. You know, it was a choice for me to come here because I really believed in what Robert believed, that the franchise was primed for success. And you talk about Devin, Deandre, a new training facility that we're building that Robert has committed to fund himself. I think all those things together, when you look at it, it paints a picture that it sets the stage for some growth and development.
You know, Monty Williams was a great piece, I think, moving forward with you guys. I think you guys have your building blocks in place with Booker. What are you guys' expectations for Deandre Ayton next year?
Well, he had a historic year as a rookie, but there were times where we believed and he believed that he could have been better. So we expect him to take a big jump defensively. He needs to be a dominant defensive force. Rebounding, passing, those are all things that will come naturally. But for us, his aggression, when he plays aggressively and he attacks the paint and he gives us an inside threat, him and Devin playing together, man, that's something to be excited about.
Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, look, I liked his attitude this year. I felt like he was actually looking to improve. Some rookies don't want to hear it, especially if they're #1 overall picks. They don't want to hear it from anyone. And I remember having a conversation with him in the middle of the year where they had just gotten bumped. And he was like, yeah, he goes like, but I learned something tonight. He goes, so I'm okay with tonight. And honestly, I don't always hear 19-year-olds saying stuff like that.
No,
so that impressed me about what he might be in the future. His numbers improved over his rookie year. That's impressive.
It is. And we expect that. I mean, you can talk to DeAndre and he'll tell you the things that he does naturally, they just come easy. For him, the next step is doing it against the best competition night in and night out, and he has to get stronger. He has to recognize things a little bit quicker, but that comes with time.
Yeah. Well, we've had a number of, I'm going to just call it false starts with the Suns in recent years. It's true. I mean, it's just the record's the record, right? You guys know the record is the record. You can't run from that, right?
Pieces now.
And so now we have someone that everyone around the league respects you so much. Everyone around the league respects Monty so much. You've got Deandre Ayton. You've got Devin Booker. You're going to have a high draft pick, whoever that is. This sets the table for you guys. I'm really excited to see what you do with it.
Becky, we are too.